Hello there, everyone at home watching the show. Nice to see you. Or should I say, ice to see you, because I have got an ice gun and I will freeze you. Nah, I don't think you'll freeze anybody. So just test me. I'll do it. Nah, I've known you for like 2 years almost, and I'm alive 500 million years. And if you ain't done something in the first 2 years, you ain't gonna ever do it. Oh yeah? Cause I could if I wanted to. You don't want to. Yes, I can do anything I want. Yep, that's true, but you ain't gonna do it cause you don't want to. You can't make anybody do something they don't want to do, you know what I mean? I guess. Hey, yeah, how do you get around, man? I have an ice craft. I fly around in my ice craft. How about you? I have a huge tricycle. It's true. You ever see the Never-Ending Story? I've seen it many times. Yes, it's true. You have got a gigantic tricycle. Why is it that you're driving the tricycle? It's the most efficient method of transportation for a gigantic rock biter. Well, I need a tricycle to get around, see? But the tricycle is for babies. It's for children. You know, what else is for children? Milk. Milk is for babies. I drink beer. I bite rocks, man. Well, at least we can, see eye to eye on that. What's up, everybody? This is the Carl Weathers Predator Weathers Report, featuring the Action Jackson AccuPredator Doppler Weather Radar Forecast and Cardi B. Cardi B. What's your whip? What you mean my whip? What am I driving? Yeah, you got a new whip? Oh, I drive a Hyundai. Seriously, Cardi B? World famous Cardi B, rapper, singer, songwriter extraordinaire. You drive a Hyundai? I drive a Hyundai Sonata. Cause it's Sonata. It's Sonata your car, it's my car. I find that hard to believe. What do you drive? A Kia Soul. It's gonna rain. It's raining here in LA. That's been the Carl Weathers Predator Weather Report, featured the Action Jackson AccuPredator Doppler Weather Radar Forecast and Cardi B. Well, we don't get around in Canada. We get around on horseback in Canada. I mean, we don't have cars. I've been watching you drive your car, Seth Rogen. The Watcher seems to watch me, and I seem to watch every episode of Aristotle Full Throttle. I've seen every single episode. And, I would rather drive away. I'd rather drive off a cliff, like at the end of Thelma and Louise. That was a good movie. Yeah, it was. I saw that movie many times. I mean, you've seen everything. I've seen everything twice. Haven't you seen every possibility of every movie ever? Yes, but my favorite ending of Thelma and Louise is where they drive off the cliff. It's classic. I'd like this show to drive off a cliff. Good golly. He's like the Muppets. See? Hey, everybody, I'm Aristotle Full Throttle. This is the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. That guy, Seth Rogen, he's like those guys in the balcony in the Muppets. You know what I'm talking about? He's got nothing but bad things to say about me. Hey, is this Will? Good evening, everybody. Is this Will? Can you believe that? Can you believe that my hair is so wet? It's so floppy? Can you believe? Let me get the music going. Let's get the vibe going in here. That's not the song I want. Get out of here, song. That's not the song I want. This isn't the song I asked for. Will, can you believe it? Good golly. Seth Rogen. He's what are those guys named? Statler and Waldorf. That's alright. The Waldorf story is this Will. I said, is this Will? I said, I said, is this Will? Hold on a second. Hang on, Will. I don't understand this. AFT graphics, man. I get so mad because the thing goes up into the cloud. See, everything goes up into the cloud over the weekend. I don't know why it automatically backs up into the cloud. So, this is Will. Will, how you doing? How was your weekend? Tell us about you, and we want to hear about you and what you're up to. This music. Listen to that bass line. This is a beautiful bass line, huh? It's one of my favorite bass lines that that I wrote. This is a very Paul McCartney / Cave-In inspired bass line, and that is the truth. I thought about Paul McCartney, and I thought about my two favorite bass players, pretty much. My two favorite melodic bass players is Paul McCartney and Caleb Schofield. And hang on a second. AFT show graphics. Well, why isn't it downloading? I need to download this stuff from the crowd. Let's see. Import from phone? No. I don't know, Will. That one works. This one doesn't. This one doesn't. Jen! That one works. Jen's intro. I haven't played it in months. Where's Jen? Is Jen out there? These glasses don't work too good. Can't see. Headaches out my business. Business is banging. What kind you got? You got migraines? You got temporomandibular? What? Tell us about your headaches. How many headaches do you got per day? You know, I'm afraid I might lose my senses at some point. I'm getting old, you know? But I just want to tell you about this car once I figure out why the Will intro isn't working. Will, why isn't your intro working? It makes me irrationally angry. AFT podcast. Oh boy. I'm just gonna like turn the intro on and then see if it just automatically starts playing at some point. Probably will. Pfizer booster is doing its work because I no longer have the touch. Oh, you got the touch. You'll be touched in touched is a euphemism. He's a bit touched. Will, you got the touch. Welcome to the show. Pfizer booster, good golly. So you must have been laid out. Did you take Pedialyte? You should definitely drink the Pedialyte. I tried that. I gotta move the microphone because I hunch over. I tried the Pedialyte, see? And that worked. I just drank it like it was juice. Life juice. And it worked for me. Hopefully you had something to remedy your aches and pains, because that third dose of Moderna, I got the Moderna. That's the high end. Sorry, Will, about your Pfizer. You know, I got the Moderna. See, that's a high level. I know some of us can't afford the Moderna. I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag about it. Let me turn this up. Nope, that's as high as it goes. But Will, you must have been laid out with that Pfizer. The third dose, the booster, right? Get the booster for the holidays, people. Gotta get the shots. I've been banging this drum since the beginning of the COVID. I was like, I don't even understand why it's an issue to get a friggin' vaccine. Why is this an issue? When people go to different countries, they're like, oh, just get the vaccine and go to that other country. And then they travel. When kids go to school, they're like, you need rubella, mumps, chickenpox. You need all the vaccines to go to school. Kids they just go ahead and get them. People are like, well, those have been around. They've been tested. It's like, guys, the vaccines, in order to get to the point where they're in this phase of trials, where they're being used and administered, is the working stage. This is the same rigorous steps that all of the other vaccines had to go through to get to the stage that they were at. So I don't want to keep banging this drum. I want to say hello to Studio 8H, Studio _8H.
Live from LA, it's AFT. Starring Is This Will, K-Grip, Ayanolita, OCW 5000, 420 artists, Raccoon Raiders, and now introducing Studio 8H.
Welcome to the show. You done got squished. I'm sorry about the squishing at the end, but tomorrow you'll regenerate anew and get squished again. Will, call me slow to come to this revelation, this understanding. Call me what you will. Don't call me late for dinner. I just realized, Will, is this Will, that your name, you might have mentioned this at some point, but it just sunk in for the first time. Is this Will I am? You're playing off of that, I think. That's my theory. Is this Will I am? Because it goes together hand in hand. I feel like I could be in the Black Eyed Peas. I feel like I could run up on stage with the Black Eyed Peas and you wouldn't know the difference because there's those two guys that nobody knows. Apple D Apple and D-Light, or whatever the other guy's name is. You got Will I Am, you got Fergie, no more, Fergie left the band again. But you got Will I Am, you got Fergie, and you like a Black Eyed Peas, and then two other guys. I could just run up on the stage and just be like, put my hair in like this. And then people just be like, oh, he's just one of them Black Eyed Peas. We can't even tell. We don't pay attention to the other guys. It's like Will I Am, Fergie, and two Ringos. Welcome to the show, everybody. That's the way the ring goes. That's the way love goes. As soon as it becomes a plank on a party platform, all hope of consensus is lost. You should try it. But I'll make sure I am watching live when you do it. I'll do it. I'll just go up on there. I'll put my hair in like a Princess Leia. I'll put like a silver shiny suit on with like a mirror ball. People just be like, that's just another Black Eyed Pea. We don't account for the other ones. I feel bad for Apple D App. That's a statement you don't ever hear because nobody even thinks of him. I think of him. Is that his name? Apple D Apps? I'm downloading this. Open with QuickTime Player. Document could not be opened. Download from the cloud, bro. Show in enclosing folder. This is Will. I apologize for your delayed intro, but it will happen. I clicked on it, double clicked on it. It should come down from the cloud, from the heavens above, and land on our faces presently. You know, one of my favorite lines in any movie ever is it not? It's not Clint Howard. It's their dad. Ron Howard and Clint Howard's dad is in the movie Ed Wood. And maybe I should get that clip and just play it every now and then. Like, you know how I've got this clip?
Hey guys! Oh, big gulps, huh? Alright. Well, see you later.
One of the greatest movies, one of the greatest moments in cinematic history right there, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's funny because I was just thinking about my doorbell, when you're gonna ring it. I was thinking about this moment in Ed Wood where the guy is a Texas oil man. He's got a big cowboy hat and he's gonna fund Ed Wood's movie, but he has a stipulation. He's like, if I fund your movie, I got 3 things. I want you to have this, I want you to have that, and I want the movie to end in a huge explosion up to the sky. It's great. It's a great moment. They even changed the camera angle, so he's like, huge explosion. My hair is floppy today. It's floppy hair. Did you see the little snippet on the Discord I put about the clip you just played? Oh, I have not seen it yet. Let me tell you why I haven't seen it. I have not even checked in today because all day long I've been buying a car. All day long. When I say all day long, I mean I got up at 3 a.m. I went on Carvana. I picked out my car. I applied for it. I did all of that. I had to wait till like 9 a.m. for the bank to open, and then I started calling the bank, and I'm calling the bank, and I'm calling Carvana, and I'm calling the bank, and I'm trying to get everybody on the same page because I need a car. I need wheels. I live in Los Angeles, and I've not had a car since August. That's September, October, November, December. That's 4 months. Or 4 months. Or 4 months. Or 4 months. It's been 4 months. That seems like an obscene gesture. It's been 4 months with no car in Los Angeles, and that's just absurd. And the bus fares start again on January 10th, so I need it. And also, I need a write-off. I need a write-off for this year. But I will check out the snippet right now. Let's take a look here. Let's go to the video tape. Let's look at the snippet that our friend Studio 8H gave to us. They, hold on a second. Feel Good Feels. Is it Cool Story? Oh yeah, there's the kid all grown up. That's funny. Hey, Ange put a thing about that. You could do anything. Studio 8H. Not only was Jim Carrey's Big Gulps Huh in Dumb and Dumber 1994 improvised, the Big Gulpers weren't even extras. They were hanging out watching the filming of the director Peter Farrelly put them in the scene. Oh, that's so cool. That's hilarious. You know what? They got paid. Probably like $72 because they're non-union. And when I first started doing non-union jobs as extras in Los Angeles, but that's cool because they were just hanging out. He paid for their Big Gulps, basically. When I first started doing... It was a long time ago when I started doing extra work in like the mid-2000s. And it was like $52 a day for 12 hours. Non-union. And then about 10 years ago, when I moved to LA, I started doing extra background work again, and it moved up to about $68 a day. $68 a day, but I got my SAG voucher pretty quickly, and then got into SAG, and the rest is still happening. It's not history yet. I'm still working on it. It's not history. I gotta move back. I gotta move this camera angle down. Just knock the lens. That's a little bit better. I felt like I was just a head at the bottom of the screen. I think I got paid about $60 for being a double for one day. So there you go. You know, extra. It's got to start somewhere, and I say don't start as an extra. A lot of people start out as extras. I mean, I've been doing that. The line I got on the Goldbergs, I'm excited about. But basically, I was I was engaging with the main cast and doing a scene with them. So, but I do have just one line. But guess what? Between me and you guys, I said a lot more than my one line. I learn from the best. I build up the scene, I say my line, and then I say stuff that has, you know, I'm reacting in real time. What am I gonna do? I'm just gonna say the one line. Doesn't make sense. I gotta keep talking. Hopefully they keep in the rest of what I said. But, you know, don't matter. I had fun. It was fun as heck. Thank you, Studio 8H. It's gonna be silly. I don't know what take they're gonna use, but, you know, I did it a bunch of different times, a bunch of different ways, and, you know, they'll choose which one. Some of them I was like, oh, that wasn't that good. But most of the time I was just like, this is funny. I think that was funny. Like, in my head. You know, you gotta think. You gotta have that funny bone, you know? Yeah, I don't know if I've been working on my funny. I've been sharpening my funny bone. I've been whittling it. Working on it, you know? You need that in this town, in this business. But I gotta tell you, when everybody works on a funny show, everybody's funny, and you just feel the energy of everyone just being silly and joking. So, was there an audience? No, it was the show, I think, is not shot with an audience, and it's multi-camera. So they have different cameras set up, and we were outside actually the only audience was the crew and the director, which was good enough because, you know, they're cracking up. But, you know, you could feel if they're reacting. They can't laugh while you're doing your thing, but after it cuts, they'll be like, haha, like, you know, they'll give you a little feedback so that you know if what you did was working or not. But it's good. It's good. I could see myself doing that for a job. Hollywood, call me. But I bought a car today, so I was out. I was on the phone all day long. When I say I bought a car, I mean I got into further debt. What I did is I actively got into more debt today. The more I work, the more debt. This seems like society is based around keeping people in debt. And I needed a car. I got this car that I know will last me for a long time. But, by the way, it is a Toyota RAV4. And it is black. It's slick. It's sleek. I'm excited. I'm excited to be paying it off for the next 6 years. It is a very nice vehicle. I will see it on Saturday. They'll deliver it. I was debating of getting up this morning and taking 2 hours worth of public transportation just to go look at a car today. And then I said, I can't do this anymore. I need to buy the car now. And I just went ahead and I bit the bullet and I did it, and I'm glad I did, because it's just one thing out of the way. Also, I got some new frames. I did so much this weekend. Sorry, Will, that you were laid out, but I made up for what you were not able to do because you was recovering from your booster shot. But I'm glad you're recovering from a booster shot and not from COVID, because that would be not as cool. You know, I think about this. This person said the other day, guys, we got 2 options. You're gonna catch COVID or you're gonna get the vaccine. Pick one. We're at that point. We really are. You're either going to catch COVID or you can get a vaccine and avoid serious illness. So it's really silly. And the problem with catching COVID is that the more times COVID can spread, the more opportunity, the more time. All mutations need is time. And if we give it more time to be around, mutations are inevitable. We've seen the X-Men movies, come on! Mutation is inevitable. I'm excited. The cycle of financing. Congrats again. Thanks, Will. I just... Every time I start to, like, take a chunk out of the debt, I add, like, 3 times as much. So the equation is not working in my favor. I would like to work this year. In 2022, I would like to work as much and more on I'm putting this out in the universe. I would like to entertain y'all in the next year on more platforms than just this. But I am dedicated to this platform because I've been doing it for 2 years straight. With these two years, well, like 3 months shy of 2 years basically. Since the beginning of the pandemic, I've been doing the live streams every day, 5 days a week. That's been my dedicated creative outlet and engagement with folks, and I think it's important. I gotta start interviewing more people because I was doing that for a while and it was way more interesting than just me ranting about stuff. But I do need. I think I got psyched out for a bit. I think I felt like nobody was gonna want to come on my show. But that's not a winning thinking pattern. That is not a winning mentality. I need to say that this show is worth it. We're worth it. We need to. Let me text my friends to see if they want to come on the show right now. Where's my phone? My friend Megan is hilarious. Also, Molly. We haven't had Molly on in a year. Our friend Molly, friend of the show. She's hilarious, comedian. Way funnier. Like, listen, I take pride in the fact that I can make comedians chuckle. Like, if I can make a comedian chuckle, that strokes my ego. But I've not done what comedians do. I would like to try it and go on a stage and maybe just do an angry rant. I don't know how I would do it. I don't know my approach. If it's storytelling, joke telling, puns, or if it's carrot top, visual humor. I don't know if I'm gonna do like slapstick, fall on my face, Jim Carrey. I don't know. Impressions? What am I gonna do? I gotta get my act together. But people like Molly Densmore, she's a comedian. She goes on stage. She acts in movies. She's hilarious. People like that. People like our friend Greg Benson, comedian. He's in stuff. He does stuff. He creates funny stuff. And I like playing with folks like that. That's my crowd. That's my group. Those are people that I engage with. Ravioli fork. I would like ravioli. Holy ravioli. Hey, vicarious energy transfer works for me, or get you one that can do both. I'm trying to calculate what I said 3 minutes ago. I can't. I don't even. Sorry, Will. I just see ravioli fork and it made me hungry, and I'm out of ideas. Look at this little amp, by the way. This little amplifier is amazing. It's a little headphone amp for my guitar, and I could plug in my headphones and put this in my guitar, and it sounds like I'm playing a stadium. And I could keep my AirPods in, put the headphones over that, listen to music and play along, and not disturb anyone in my building, other than, saying hello to people in my building. I gotta say, I'm from New York, so nobody knows each other in New York. Nobody gets to know each other in New York. You could live in a building with somebody for years and never even interact with them. I've been living in this building for 4.5 years now. And there are people that I say hello to every single time. This is just between me and you. I say, hi. And then they just walk past me. And I'm like, what are we, in Brooklyn? What's going on? I'm used to that in New York, but here, I'm like, hi, how's it going? But then there's like, they probably hear what's going on outside to my door. They're like, that guy's crazy. We should stay away from him. I don't know. There's only just a couple people that do that. I think, though, people in this building, it's mostly people who live alone. So maybe perhaps they are not. I don't know. That's just a theory. Maybe they're hermits. They're introverts. But I like to engage with people. I like to say hi to people. And I don't know. Productive weekend vaccines are catching up COVID. Yes, Will. That's why we're here, to pick up each other's slack. If one of us is down for the count, the other one's got to pick up the slack. Am I right? Pull your weight. But if you're out, that's how humans work. This might be the lesson for today. This might be the thought for today. The mantra is that people say, they think about social Darwinism. They're like, oh, well, may the best man win, or whatever. May the best woman win. May the best whoever person win, And it's like, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Sometimes people got like a broken leg or something, so we've got to compensate for them. Sometimes people got diabetes, so we got to help them change their diet so that they can live longer. Because otherwise, you're just sort of leaving people behind for not good reasons. Humans are a compassionate species, I think. I think we're a social animal. That's what Aristotle said. Not me. I mean, I'm saying it now. I'm reiterating what my namesake, I'm just saying Aristotle said the humans are a social animal. We are a social animal. So it's important for us as a group to help each other out when we're down and out. Lift each other up. Why do you think we're making vaccines for each other? Because we're like, we gotta help out the people. It's crazy. But some people, they don't got that mentality. And you know what I do? I avoid those people. It's becoming normal to retreat from engaging with strangers outside necessity. Very true. I am going to actively try to desocialize myself. I have to re-socialize myself. I've been in this place. I haven't had a car. I haven't been going around town. I have been hanging out with friends more and more, which has been good. You know, we're all triple vaccinated at this point, and we go outdoors, and we're just cautious. But, you know, at the same time, it's... The pandemic is still on, but you can be safe with groups that are, are vaccinated. Safe about it. So I'm just saying, gotta lift each other up. Don't let people fall by the wayside. What the heck kind of animal is that? Just, what are you, an animal? An animal? Just like it, Eddie Vedder says. I'd rather be with an animal. You know what I'm saying? That's what Eddie Vedder said. But, you know, at the end of the day...
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's, I don't know. I feel strongly about that. I don't get why your intros aren't working. I blame myself. I do. My therapist says you shouldn't. Therapist said, why do you take on all of the responsibility? I said, it's because my upbringing. I don't know. These days, that song wouldn't survive the memes. Yeah. It's so crazy. You know, I saw someone the other day on the internet, they said, the Beatles are, let's be on the same page. The Beatles were overrated. I was like, we're not gonna be on the same page about that. The Beatles are overrated like Shakespeare is overrated. The Beatles are overrated like... I mean, I don't know. Name anything that was completely revolutionary. But the Beatles are overrated like landing on the moon is overrated. I don't know. The person was younger. But I can get, you listening to the Beatles catalog and like maybe not being that impressed. But everything that you listen to on the radio was influenced by the Beatles in one way or another. And that's just the truth. Recording-wise, songwriting-wise, musical-wise, whatever. Just the Beatles started all of the conventions. I think it's like when people say like Citizen Kane is overrated. I'm like, Citizen Kane started like 147 conventions that we all just take for granted in every single movie we watch. But Citizen Kane was the first movie to do it, ever. Like, you can go down a list of matching shots and dissolves and camera angles, and it was like they invented Citizen Kane, put in place a language of filmmaking that we use just over and over again without even thinking about it, because it's just rules. It created the rules for the game, and I think it's just crazy. Oh, thank you. Your favorite role is my tax office hipster. That was one of my first major background roles. The hair was like out to here. It's kind of crazy. I got a story for that. I got a story for just about damn near anything. But Studio 8H, the first day I worked on a sitcom in the background in Hollywood, I lived here for like 3 weeks. I lived here for like a month and a half. It was like 5-6 weeks I've been living here. Got here at the end of November, and this was in January that I worked on that. I remember that because I just remember that part of the story. And I got there late. My first job, I got there late because I didn't know which studio from the other.
And Universal Studios entrance is across the street, essentially, from Warner Brothers studio entrance. And I was supposed to go to Warner Brothers. And they were like, turn left into this gate at Warner Brothers. And I was turning right into the gate at Universal. And the saddest part about being late was I lived about a minute and a half drive from the studio. Maybe 3 minutes. You know, I have to get in my car and drive there. I had to drive 3 minutes to Warner Brothers Studios, and I got there late. 20 minutes late, because I pulled into the gate of Universal Studios, and they were like, we don't have you on the list for anything. And I'm like, but here's my license. And they're like, yeah, you're not on the list, bro. And I'm like, and then I had to call Central Casting. I'm like, they don't have me on the list. They're like, you're at the wrong place. So I went to the right place, pulled into the gate, ran in, and then the second AD, this guy named Jack, amazing second AD, yelled at me. He's like, what are you doing? You're being late. What? God, you do that again? Why, you knuckle sandwich? But he was like a softie. He was a total softie, but he was totally screaming at me. He's like, where did you went to the wrong place. I was like, yeah, sorry. But this guy was great. Jack told stories. He regaled us with all of these stories. He's like, who was the first time we used syndication? It was Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. They started because they filmed. He told us all of this film history. It was really cool because we were on the set on a sitcom. So I'm sitting there in the stands, because you get to sit in the audience while the cast rehearses the scenes while you're waiting to be extras in the scene. And I look over to my right, and who's there but none other than my college freshman sweet mate, Peter Fothrop, a friend of mine. I hadn't seen him in years, and he's just sitting right. He's like, "Hey, Aristotle, what? How are we? I hadn't seen him in years," and I'm like literally sitting right next to him. My first job in Hollywood, so that was great. That was super fun. That was super duper fun. And I was just like, I got to hang out with my friend that week, because I think it was 2 or 3 days, because you do like a couple days of rehearsal, and then you do show day, where you rehearse again, and then the audience comes in, and then you do the thing like once or twice. You do the scene once or twice, and they'll adjust. And the cast of Two Broke Girls, awesome. They were really cool. Kat Dennings was really cool and just chill. Spoke to us. You don't often get that. But she was very cool. But I thought it was great. I thought that's my story about. I don't even know why I started telling that story. It's a small world after all. Really, it really is, and it was really cool to just be like, okay, well, I got yelled at by Jack, but I got to hang with my friend Pete. That was fun. I was late though. I felt so bad. I'm from New York. If you're 5 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. See? People use overrated when they mean overhyped is more appropriate. Yes, is as well. I just don't think it's possible to overhype the Beatles. I just don't. I think it's impossible. I think you can't hype them enough. You've got to keep hyping them to like the highest degree, because, I mean, if you watched Get Back, it's just genius at work. You're just, they're overrated like, Einstein or Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, what did he do? Split the atom? Overrated. Killed a bunch of people with that practical execution of physics. Overrated. You know that Cillian Murphy's gonna play Oppenheimer in the next movie by Christopher Nolan called Oppenheimer. It's about splitting the atom. I'm sure it's gonna be incredible. I hope it doesn't move half backwards and forwards. It's palindromic. I think the wheel is overrated. I don't like the wheel. Yeah, me too. Come on, let's go back to squares. Square tires. The wheel. Circular objects. Come on.
You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps?
Yeah. It's funny. One of my favorite lines is from Raising Arizona. One of my favorite little Coen brothers moments is from Raising Arizona. It's when John Goodman and the other guy, I forget the actor's name, but he's also hilarious. They're both robbing a gas station. So that one guy goes into the gas station and he's like, give me all the money from the register. And the old man's like, oh, okay. And then the guy goes, and give me some of them balloons behind the counter. And then the guy, then he says, they blow up in any funny shapes at all? And then the old guy that has his hands up says, no, not less round as funny. And then, and then they cut to the next shot and he's coming out the store with the money and the balloons. He's like, I got the money and I got the balloons. And John Goodman says, they blow up in any funny shapes at all? And the guy says, no, just circular. It's amazing. You know what's scary? People who make balloon animals. Don't trust them. Something about that profession. Making balloon animals for kids. Stay away. Unless they're like a 14-year-old girl making balloon animals for like 5 and 6-year-olds. I don't want to see no 50-year-old man making balloon animals for kids. Something's up with that. I'm just saying. I was at the market like a couple years ago and I saw a guy making balloon animals and stuff, and I was like, don't allow your kids to go near him. Please don't.
What?
Well, in your case, you're a fan of everything after Revolver. But I wasn't jazzed about their earlier stuff. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Well, you know what? That's cool. Everybody's got their era of the Beatles. My mom, she loves Please Please Me. She loves, Please Please Me, oh yeah, like I please you, dear, near, near, near. And it's a pleasant song. It's actually really super catchy. Maybe not modern at all, but when you get further into their catalog, their stuff becomes way more timeless because it's just crazy and innovative. But my mom has a very funny story about having that disc, the single, Please Please Me. She played it over and over and over again to the point where her mom, my Nana, grabbed the record, I was going to say CD, she grabbed the disc and threw it out the window. So, Will, you and my Nana don't like their earlier stuff. Come on. Oh, I tell you something. Well, how's it go? I'll tell you something. Make you understand. I gotta sing down here. Tell you something. Hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. You know, it's funny because I love that song. I'm a songwriter. I've written many songs. I'm not a singer, but I'm a songwriter. And I just think of that song and I'm like, good golly, very simple, so sweet, perfect. It's a perfect song. I can't argue with it. It's a very earlier Beatles song, but it's really funny. Another thing that the Beatles innovated, and this doesn't happen before the Beatles, believe it or not. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. The song starts with the chorus. This is not like maybe a mind-blowing thing to you right now, but it was in 1963. A song that just starts with a chorus. I mean, I could go on all day long. Just even earlier in their career, they were innovating. They were like, let's just start with the chorus. Everything was like verse, chorus, A, B, C. You know? No, they were like, chorus. Let's just go into it. It's hooky. So it's really, really, I mean, I've read books, many books. I've read many leather-bound books of the Beatles. And one book I read was the Beatles songs. And the Beatles songs, if you get it, it's all about the engineering of every single song on that on their every album. And it denotes who contributed what, who played which instrument, and who wrote how much of each song, which was fascinating to me. And I've like remembered almost every bit of that data in my head. It just went in there and stayed. For instance, at the end of this song, this is Beatles Hour. This song, you know when they go like this. She's so heavy. These augmented chords, amazing. When it goes. How that song ends. That's my recreation. Literally, this book says George Harrison is playing the noisemaker. So when I was in the studio making sounds, I would think of these things. I'd be like, oh, let's make some noise here. Let's do this stuff. For instance, I'll play you a thing at the end of a song that I did because the Beatles did it. So there's a song that ends this way. This is a song of mine. This is the very end of it. We hired a cellist. I played the strings on the keyboards. Listen for it. I swallowed the song with my noise, with my bass noise maker. I'm very proud of that moment. Well, I should do a whole show where we just break down every Veda song. I'm very proud of these songs. But is there any other musician or band that has had every part of their life and music analyzed so much in history? I don't think so. I think Paul McCartney is demonstrably the most successful songwriter in music history. In that he probably wrote way more popular songs than any one person has ever done. And he had a writing partner, but also they wrote together under the umbrella of Lennon-McCartney, even though they would write separately. But Paul McCartney, I could think of Diane Warren, but still, not as many monster hits that have connected all over the planet. So it's fascinating. It's fascinating fun. I would say Dylan and Hendrix get that treatment. Hendrix definitely gets analyzed. It's weird because Hendrix is otherworldly. If you ever get the chance to watch Hendrix play the guitar, he's not playing the guitar. The guitar is one with him. It's incredible. It's really an incredible thing to behold because there's no effort involved. It's just all one thing. He's just one entity. Guitar and Hendrix are just one thing happening all at once. It's really great. Not the greatest singer, but the greatest guitar player. So The Beatles had a prolific run, and Wings had some hits. Indeed. Let's see, what do we got? What's your favorite Wings song? I like how it's like, Live and Let Die. Let's just call the song Live and Let Die, because the movie for James Bond is called Live and Let Die. Jet. Ooh, 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 ooh. Jet. That's a good one, too. I mean, I'm a big fan of Paul McCartney. I actually saw Paul McCartney a few years ago for the second time. I saw him like 20 years ago for the first time. And both times, incredible. The last time I saw him, he played for 3 hours, at least. 3 hours. 3 hours. The man was in his mid-70s. 3 hours, nothing. He played every possible song you would ever imagine you would want to hear at a Paul McCartney song, at a Paul McCartney concert. He played everything. Name the song, he played it. I was like, he's playing silly love songs right now. How is this happening? We're at Dodger Stadium. It was a who's who. Also, I would look down at the field and I would just see, I'm like, oh, there's the guy from Workaholics. There's so-and-so. Oh, look, there's Jennifer Lopez. It was crazy. It was great. You had everybody. Every human being in the world wanted to see it. The thing that pissed me off the most about that concert was my friend was in town for 3 days. My friend Mike, he's a comedian. When he comes to town, he borrows my guitar to do his act, because his act, he borrows this very guitar, and he does his act at the Comedy Store and sings. He sings. He's got an act. I gotta get my act together. But I'm pissed off because 2 days after I saw that concert, I see Mike posted a picture of him with Paul McCartney in like the bathroom at the Comedy Store. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're in town for 2 days and you get to hang out with Paul McCartney. I live here for years. No fair. A McCartney show is a historical moment. I would like to say that a McCartney show is an incredible moment. For instance, I was really, and this sticks with me. This sticks with me. The moment I saw this one guy in the middle of a show walk out on stage with an acoustic guitar, because he plays everything during the show. He plays the piano, he plays the electric guitar, he plays the electric bass, he plays the ukulele as a tribute to George Harrison. But when he walks out on the stage with just a spotlight and an acoustic guitar by himself and 20,000 close friends at Madison Square Garden are just deafening, just roaring. The place is rumbling for 5 minutes. A guy with a guitar, a single white spotlight, the crowd. 5 minutes. I'm like, that's something special. This is a moment. This guy has affected so many people. To be able to, I'm just saying, the guy had an impact to be able to do that. I've never seen anything like it. Maybe when I saw Page and Plant, it was kind of crazy because it was Led Zeppelin. But when I saw Paul McCartney with a guitar by himself, it just, like, he could have been busking on a street corner. But he was at Madison Square Garden, and the crowd just was, the place was gonna fall, like, just cracking at the seams. It was incredible. Of course he plays Yesterday. Of course he plays all of the stuff you'd want to hear him play on an acoustic. And then he comes out and he's like, my friend George, my little friend buddy George, he wrote this song. Plays something on the ukulele, which is interesting because you know why? Paul McCartney didn't write that song. George Harrison wrote that song. So he takes out the little ukulele because George Harrison was a good ukulele player. And he says, this is a tribute to my little buddy. You know why also? Because he knows that that's like basically considered... This is the sweet... It's not revenge, but it's the sweet validation for George Harrison to have been among Lennon and McCartney for all of those Beatles albums. And oftentimes, at the top of greatest Beatles songs of all time, I will see either Here Comes the Sun or Something. And they're both on the last Beatles album, and they're both written by George Harrison. And I'm like, that's kind of sweet. That's like poetic justice. I'll call that poetic justice, literal poetic justice, because George Harrison was suppressed. They kept like sort of sweeping him under the carpet for 8 years or 7 years or 15 years since they knew each other. However long, 10 years, I don't know. And it's such a poetic justice that oftentimes at the top of the list, you'll see greatest Beatles, most listened to Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun. Just incredible. So I think that's also why Paul McCartney plays it, because people want to hear Beatles songs, and he's like, well, I'll play one of George's songs. But it's a sweet, moving tribute to his friend who had fallen at that time. And but Paul McCartney tells a funny story. He said, George didn't start out, great, but he did really develop as we went on. And to this day, I think one of my favorite things is that Frank Sinatra says that Something is his favorite Lennon-McCartney song. He's like, well, I'll take it. It's an incredible song. Isn't Yesterday the most covered song of all time? I think so. It might be. I don't know. Yesterday. I'll cover it very poorly because my guitar's out. Why she had to I got through it. Sounds better on like a nylon string. I don't know. Also, when I play it at tempo, not double time. It's funny because it's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. But yeah, I did hear that it was the most covered song in history for a while. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. I sound like Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney had no respect. She left me because she had no respect for me. It's a benefit of time to pad its lead. Had and continued, it would have become a financial issue. Yeah, had they continued. Drive my car. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. Revolver's great. Rubber Soul is good. Plastic Soul, man. Plastic Soul. When I call you up, your line's engaged. I've had enough. I don't know. I don't know. I remember learning all of those earlier songs. But I do like Revolver. I would say that my favorite era, I do like Sgt. Pepper's a lot, but I would say, in my opinion, that's an overhyped album. Even though it was nothing, I don't know. I think a lot of people just gravitate toward that one, saying that's the greatest album of all time, but I think Abbey Road is, in my opinion, better in a lot of ways. Their last studio album is, in my opinion, their best studio album. But I love that the White Album is just It's kind of like their acoustic album, but it's just so it's not slapdash, it's hit and run. It's just they just fire off. I don't know how many songs are on that, 25 songs. It's crazy. They just fire them off. Boom, boom, boom. We got so many songs. So many songs. I like the... Let me just do this. I need a better pick than this one. Singing songs for everyone. Yeah. I got a feeling that that's a pretty good song too. Man, I mean, just all day long. I mean, you just can't get enough of the Beatles. I just want to play some Beatles songs. Once there was a way to get back home. Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry, cry. And I will sing a lullaby. It sounds like a song that existed forever. You know? Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry. And I will sing a lullaby. I mean, feels like it's just been around forever. Oh, you gotta carry the weight a long time. Come on, everybody. I can just play the Beatles all day. A long time, sleep, pretty darling, do that, and they bring it back. And I'll sing a lullaby. Just, I don't know how they did it, but they did it. And they did it all. They did every possible version of a Beatles song, I think. Because, you know, after that, you had John Lennon and Paul McCartney doing their thing, and George Harrison doing his thing, and Ringo Starr and his all-star band, and you had them all doing their thing. However, it was never as great as what the four of them did together. Started Neil Young. Got guns on the street, midnight and day. Man, Neil Young. You're gonna get me started on Neil Young now, huh? What's that song? How's that go? Harvest Moon? Oh man, I want to play that song now, but I can't remember it. Cinnamon Girl? That's a crazy riff. I'm just gonna name the songs. I won't even try to play them. But I've been to enough Pearl Jam concerts to know this one. I've been to enough Pearl Jam concerts to not want to go back to a Pearl Jam concert. Which is 5, I think. Started Neil Young. I'm going to have to call the Ghostbusters in a minute. I'm sorry, Carvana, to just make sure all of my paperwork has been received. Now I'm just riffing. You know that's one? It's the kids. The kids love that. That song is one of the best Pearl Jam songs. I don't care what anybody says. It's an Eddie Vedder song, and it's just great. I'm kind of tired of this one. I think that's a cool song. The waiting, watching the clock. It's 4 o'clock. It's got to stop. This song's got to stop. It's over. She rolls over, pretends to sleep as he looks her over. This has got great lyrics. She lies and says she's in love with him. She lies and says she's in love with him. Can't find a better man. You know why that's brilliant, I think? Because it paints a picture of a woman pretending to sleep. So she lies down. She lies. She lies and says she's in love with him. Can't find a better man. I think that if you think about these lyrics, from coming from a songwriting perspective, it's kind of genius. Because she literally lies there and says she's in love with him and can't find a better man. Or she's lying and says she's in love with him. She can't find a better man. Maybe because she can't find a better man. And I got to hand it to Eddie Vedder because he is that smart. He is that good at lyrics. So to me, that is like Paul McCartney level lyric writing. Because Paul McCartney would say, you know, they gave her all that money could buy. Bye. She did everything that she could to get by. Bye. Like if you listen to She's Leaving Home, there's lots of puns in it. It's genius. It's Paul McCartney being a genius. But she lies and says she's in love with him. Can't find him because she's literally lying there. I'm going to be this mean. It's true. This, I believe, is true. I believe you can interpret those lyrics as vague, as being ambivalent, I suppose. I hated Better Man at first, but it grew tolerate. Yeah, I didn't really think it was their best song, but it was an Eddie Vedder song that he had for already 5 years or so when he was in the band Bad Radio. So he just brought it to the guys and said, hey, I got this old song that I used to play in my old band. And then they said, okay, well, we've got a national platform, an international platform. Why don't we expose it to that crowd? And then it caught on. The chorus is musically saccharine with those major chords, but the lyrics are excellent. Yes, this is what I have to hand to Eddie Vedder. He is an exceptional, if not a quite remarkable lyricist. I mean, he knows what he's doing lyrically. Not on the guitar. Put the guitar down, Eddie. No, he got better. He's actually a good guitar player now. In the 90s, when he was playing like this on Saturday Night Live, you'll remember this, Will, when he played. Restless soul, enjoy your youth, like Muhammad, it's the truth. The best part is when he's like, at my table, seats just two. He says, me and Beth, and he's like, he goes like, he hits a bad note. It's great. Live on TV, national TV. He's like, Bring! It's amazing. It's kind of actually amazing. Also, if you listen to the recording of now, what I did on the fourth one there is I messed up on purpose because it's on the recording, because Eddie Vedder is playing it on the recording, and he messes up and they keep it. I don't know why, but you can hear it on the recording. So listen, this note rings out. Later, Studio 8H, thank you for hanging out. I'm sorry that I'm just having a good time playing guitar now. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm probably going to wrap it up in a couple minutes anyway, but I'm going to play Studio 8H's intro as the outro, and I'm going to go.
Live from LA, it's AFT. Starring Is This Will, K-Grip, Aeon Olita, OCW 5000, 420 artists, Raccoon Raiders. And now, introducing Studio 8H.
What's up? That's a cool riff. I like it. It's pretty. It's folky. Everything after Vitology, I'm just like, eh. Even everything on Vitology, I'm just like, eh. Oh, one of the cool. Now we're geeking out on Pro Jam. So, one of the cool things I like. Was it? I like that that's an odd time signature. You know what I'm saying? It's in 5. That's interesting. That's Satan's Bed. No, Satan's Bed is a. Yeah. Satan's Bed, Last Exit, yeah. That's a cool riff. Let's go over to riffs. That's all right. This one, I don't like it. Let's just go through every song in that album. What's... Yeah. That's it. Gotta get a better. Sorry, I blame the pick. I'm like, we're just geeking out. I'm just hanging out. I had a long day ordering this car. Now I just want to chill out and play guitar and just decompress. This is me at home alone. Home alone like Kevin. This part's cool. I don't wanna wait. I would rather stop than eat your bread. Everything has changed. Absolutely nothing's changed. Take my hand, spill my tincture, or whatever. These are good lyrics. These are really good lyrics, actually. Yeah. It's just think of the... Yeah, those are... Listen, Eddie Vedder, I can't find a better man to write lyrics than you, other than John Lennon. And a lot of other people, like Bob Dylan. Yeah, that's a cool song. That's a cool song. I Davanita. I don't know. I Davanita. Okay, cool. I guess. Bugs? What? I got bugs. Eddie, come on. Privacy is priceless to me. I'm just thinking about all these songs because they're the last songs that Dave Aberzees played drums on, and they're great. The drums are great. The whipping, oh yeah, the whipping. How does that riff go? Because the whipping, that's actually a pretty good song. That's a good song. Because they do like a break. They go like the whipping, the whipping, the whipping. Nah. Let me hear that song real quick. Let me just indulge and divulge. I'm excited about my new car. Merry Christmas to me. To myself. They're whipping. Yeah. Those three parts don't seem like they should work. Yeah. It is kind of a Frankenstein song, but it works. I believe you're talking about this. And yeah. Oh, I see that My Name Was Mud was playing because I was practicing my double kick. The whipping. Pearl Jam. Whipping. Remastered. How does it go? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a dope riff. That's a great song. Oh no, sorry, my bad. Yeah, it's just really simple, but great, because it's rock. This song rocks. That's all that I require. If it. Whipping. Sounds good to me. Yeah, good lyrics again. Yeah, and a good melody, a cool melody. The whipping. Yeah. Don't need to push when I'm being shoved. Leave it. They wanted to be. Spotify was using playback. Come on, Spotify, you're harshing my vibe. This is the part where they do the break. Yeah, brat. They do a flam. That's dope. All right, Pearl Jam, you're back on the board. You just earned yourself back with Whipping being just a dope 3-minute song. 2.5-minute song. It's good lyrics. It's a good vibe. It's a good time, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope that you have a good time hanging out here on the show. See how I did that? I don't know. It's just fun time. It's just playtime. We're just hanging out. Maybe we'll touch upon something profound one day. Maybe we'll just be slightly touched. I don't mean it the way you think I mean it. I mean it in the way that, someone's touched. Look it up. He's a bit touched. That's what they say about me. Isn't that touching? I think hey Will, like the video. Like the video. I think the only slight against Vitology was that it didn't have any pop leading singles like the previous two. Yeah, it was a very like come to the show and rock out with us type of album. And then also every album after that didn't have any popular songs on it. Except for the cover they did. This is the guy who was won over by Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy is a unicorn of a song. There's no song like Jeremy. It's just it doesn't make any sense as a hit. It doesn't make any sense almost as a song. It's just an epic, weird, winding piece of fragmented thoughts. It's kind of a unicorn of songs, which makes it great. A lot of everything on that first album almost is just these fragmented thoughts that all seem to make sense. They really paint a picture. And it really creates a style of his own. Eddie Vedder has his own Jack Kerouac, like, en medias res, fragmented, painted picture, visceral lyric writing that is relatable and connectable and very signature. You know, singing weird stories about random people. Lays his head on a pillow made of concrete. Little key Steve and lays his head. I don't know who he says. I said that like a Eeyore. Like a jackass. This is the 30th anniversary of 10. Was this 30th? Yeah. Good golly. Remember when they did the 20? They did 10 the 20th anniversary? That's actually a pretty good documentary. Except it's not a documentary, by the way. It's not. It's directed by Cameron Crowe, and it's just a fan adulation montage. It's not a documentary by any stretch. It doesn't get into anything controversial about Pearl Jam. Like, literally, the scene where they talk about Mike's addiction, Mike McCready, one of the best guitar players in the 90s, he just goes, and then I had a struggle for a little bit, and then I got better. Literally one sentence to address the fact that the middle of the 90s, Mike McCready was drunk and high on stage and medicated. Let's just gloss over that. There's no negative piece. You know what else that reminds me of? There's no negative moment in Pearl Jam's album, Pearl Jam's documentary. It's not a documentary. It's just a love letter to the band by Cameron Crowe. And if you watch it and you're a fan, you'll enjoy it. But if you want to know about the band, you're not going to really know about the band. You're just going to be like, oh, and then this happened, and then this was a famous thing that happened. It's just a document of all the greatest hits of Pearl Jam. And you're not going to really learn anything about the band in any kind of controversial way. Which reminds me of Weird Al's Behind the Music. I know, guys. Weird Al had a Behind the Music. And if you guys remember Behind the Music from VH1 from the late 90s, there was a show called Behind the Music, right? And they would always be like, and then things went bad. They'd be like, you know, Sugar Ray, great band, but then things went bad. You know, they'd take some 90s band and then talk about how everything went bad, and then Nirvana, and then things took a turn for the worse. But Weird Al, now follow me on this one, Will, because this is hilarious. Weird Al's dark turn, his dark moment in his Behind the Music, it's amazing. It's the most amazing thing. They're like, Weird Al. Well, this was before his parents both died on the same day, but during the Weird Al documentary, they were just like, the only controversy that he ever had in his entire career is when Coolio is at a press conference and they're like, what do you think about Weird Al's Amish Paradise based on Gangster's Paradise? And Coolio just goes, I ain't with that. I ain't with that. And then they just go, Coolio didn't like the cover. He didn't like the satire. What do you call that when a song is a spoof? I forget. I'm losing my brain. I gotta eat food. But, help me out here, Will. What is it called when you make fun of a song with another song? Parody! Song parody. Good golly. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I've been up since 3. But I was just say, Coolio was the worst thing that ever happened to Weird Al, which was, I ain't with that. I don't like it. Thank you, guys. I just want to say that Amish Paradise was funny, but it ain't no like a surgeon. Okay? It ain't no eat it. I don't know about his parents. Oh, the Coolio thing. I totally forgot about that parody. Yes. Yeah, his parents, not to leave you on this note, but Weird Al's parents both died of carbon monoxide poisoning. And he had to do a show that night, and he had to still play the show after finding that out. So, guys, remember to cherish every moment of life. But you don't have to take my word for it. Okay, bye, guys.